All right. Well, why don't we start by introducing yourself and tell us a little bit about you and what do you do?
Okay, hi everybody. My name's Cindy Crum. I'm the CEO of Mobile Moxie, based in Denver, Colorado. We do mobile SEO and ASO consulting, and we have a really cool tool set that helps people see what search results look like on all different phones, in all different languages, in anywhere in the world, down to a specific address. So not just the
Okay.
postcode, not just the city
Wow.
center, but like I can be like, my boss lives here, and I want to see what he sees when he searches from
Yeah.
his Android Pixel 7 or whatever.
What are you, obviously the $1 million question today, what are you doing in the AI space?
Lots of thoughts and feelings on AI,
Yep.
as do we all. I think, like, from a brand perspective, AI is a good opportunity for brands to start thinking about how they're represented off of their website. So
Yeah.
SEOs have been, like, for years, just so hyper-focused on how their own website ranks. And that's just one piece of the overall picture.
Right. Yep.
And AI is not going to take an answer, as like super viable if only one website says it.
Yeah.
Right? They want consensus. So you need to be doing your branding across the web, not just on your website,
Yep.
to make sure that the AI trusts whatever is being said.
And that data consistency,
Yeah.
right? Like that's more important than ever.
Absolutely.
It feels, I mean, you correct me if I'm wrong, but it almost feels like we're traveling back in time into the beginning of SEO, where it was all about consistency and repetition and
Yes, but even more than that, we're traveling back to a world of marketing before the internet, right? Like
True.
all of this stuff is just marketing.
Yeah.
And we've lived and died on all these KPIs and analytics and stuff like that. But marketing, Rand Fishkin makes this point a lot. Marketing existed before the internet.
Yeah.
And they didn't have every single minutia of KPI
Yeah,
to determine whether things were ranking. They just did it. They figured it would work, and then they tracked like the revenue
Right.
improvement, or and then hallelujah,
It worked, right? Yeah.
Like there is a way to do marketing without the absolute deep nuance of all the data. Now I love data, but I think our industry is having kind of like an existential crisis on like, what do we do without the data? Well, you do a great job at marketing and branding, and you do what you should have been doing at some level the whole time.
Yeah. So last question I have for you, because this is very recent. I saw this on LinkedIn a couple of times. It was different people talking about already hacks, right? It's like, do this 5 steps, like specifically do this in this order to get you an AI overviews. And, I go back to my black hat years of experience. It only works until it doesn't, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, so what's your take? It's like, I think there's a bigger picture that people got to look, right? It's not just what's the trick to get you there. It's how do I build a brand that gets found and it gets chosen, right? Like people actually want to do business with us.
Yeah, so this is definitely not everyone's opinion, but in my opinion, I think there's a lot to be learned by the people who've gotten TikTok famous, and they've created whole aesthetics and memes and brands that hardly have websites and
I know
stuff like that. And they're doing it without really SEO per se. They're knowing how to manipulate the TikTok algorithm and get engagement there. But it does seem like the younger generation is really into these short form videos wherever they are. And I especially like TikTok because it seems like TikTok videos are repurposed on every other social platform.
They are.
And so it's a good place to start, and then know that either you have to post it or it'll get cross-posted elsewhere by a fan, right?
Yep,
or it'll
yep.
get stitched, which I love, like people doing a video over a video on a topic and like adding their 2 cents.
Right.
So it becomes like its own
Genius.
little fan out
Yeah,
thing, right?
yeah.
Like that's fan out too.
Yeah.
So I think starting there and creating a conversation or your own little buzz, and not worrying about, you're not trying to take over the world today. You're just trying to reach your people and find your people
Right.
where the message is already going to resonate. They just have to see it, hear it, feel it, and they're there,
Yeah.
right? And then you build that community, and the community helps, right? And this isn't new, but we have new tools to do it. And so that's the good side. The bad side is like, AI influencers who are fake, made by AI. It's like, when all the reviews got overrun by fake reviews, people went to influencers to be like, I want a real human to tell me if this is good or not before I buy it. And so we started trusting influencers for some kinds of questions.
Yeah.
And now that's, now there's a couple things. The influencer stuff has gotten so strong that like I watch fashion influencers, and you no longer do you ever see a fashion influencer going, "Meh, I don't like it, it's low quality."
Right.
They're always like, "It's great, buy it. It's so
It's
cute."
always the
It's so
best
cute."
invention of the world.
Yeah. So they're already a little bit less trustworthy. You have to find the ones that are trustworthy. But then thinking about like AI video, AI voice, whatever, they could have one AI like model who's selling you this or that makeup, whatever, and they make a video once and then they translate it in every language.
Yes.
People aren't searching in those languages, so they won't see the other languages of the same woman saying the same thing over and over again. And then there's interesting people taking advantage using AI video to create viral movements. So I don't know if you've seen this, but I'm a big pet lover.
Yeah.
And I got this thing that kept showing up in Instagram Reels. And it was this woman talking about her dad who had started a dog shelter, and he couldn't afford to pay for all the dog food. And so he started selling like dog-shaped slippers to help raise money for the dogs and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And it's a sob story. And she's like, please just click through, look at his site. You don't have to buy anything. Just have a look. My dad, he loves these dogs so much. And it's a tearjerker. And they show like, dogs that clearly need help and whatever. And I fell for it. I even shared it because I love dogs. And then I found there was one on cats and there was one on baby cows. And it was this whole sob story fake, but it looked real. It was like very real looking. Like I don't think I'm easy to fool on digital things.
But this was so real.
It was so real and well done. And like, it's like hand done video on someone's phone that they're trying to replicate. So it's a little blurry sometimes, but you don't,
Yeah.
it's grandpa taking the video or whatever.
Right.
You might get blurry. So, so I worry about where the internet as a whole is going. Like there's dead internet theory. Is that going to happen? Dead internet is like everything becomes AI, bots talking to bots, and no one knows what's real.
Right. And then what are we doing?
Yes.
Like, what are we supposed to do?
How do we separate reality from marketing, from everything else?
Yeah. Well, it was awesome. I think we could keep talking for hours, so we'll invite you again for a full episode. But thank you so much for joining us today, for stopping by our booth, and hopefully you enjoy your socks.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, that was awesome.
Cool.